So the next step is to make our footprint list. In this video I've got 110 text snippets. It's supposed to be 96 from the last video. This has been shot afterwards and I didn't actually save my edits to a separate file, so all I've got is the original 110, but that doesn't matter for this demonstration. Firstly, when we're using footprints, it's best to have your snippets in quotation marks. So just to show you what that does, if I generate footprints, it takes all the footprints and puts them in quotation marks. I'm going to clear list. The next thing I want to do is combine these footprints. So these all appear on the CMS we're targeting, but obviously if we search for Twitter or Facebook, it's not really going to help us very much. So we have to combine these together to make sure that we're actually getting the right results when we scrape. Here you have an estimation of how many footprints you are currently generating with your settings. The first thing I'm going to do is use list permutation, and I'm going to set this to 1 and 2, so it means that we're using all 110 of these snippets, and then we're also using every single one of them combined with every single other one of them, and then we can see here that that would generate more than 6,000 footprints. So I've got the initial list there, and if I scroll down you can see I've got all of them combined with all the others too. So now I'm going to ramp this up to 3 and 3, and this is going to take a little while to generate the preview. Okay, so it says 215,000 footprints. So clear list and then generate footprints. I'm just leaving this to run to show you how quickly it does it. So you can see it does about 2,000 per second. So I wouldn't make your footprint list any bigger than that, because it takes quite a long time to do, and to be honest you don't really need that many footprints. Ideally you want to reduce this list so you have much fewer footprints there, which is actually what I did when I ran this the first time. Let me show you my list. So I have 161,000, which is a lot less than 215,000. And on another note, that GSA project I was running as the example has now finished, and it's submitted almost 100,000 URLs and just over 67,000 links were verified. I've also re-verified these links since. The number's actually higher than some of the screenshots were showing earlier. Okay, and that's now finished, so make sure you export the list and save your work. If you edit your text snippets list, then make sure you save that too. Do that by editing it here and then exporting the snippets to a text file. It can be imported later, which is something I didn't do last time. We've decided on our strategy and exported our results. The strategy is basically how many combinations you're using, if you're combining with keywords, and it all depends on what scraper you're using and how large your initial list is. And it also matters how big your target CMS is. For example, a huge CMS like WordPress or Vue Bulletin, then you can have big lists because there are many targets you need to find. But for smaller targets, some of these image comment galleries and stuff like that, where there's only a small number of sites, maybe 20 or 30,000 different domains, then you can use a much smaller list, because otherwise it's overkill when you're using the list with scraping. If there's only 10,000 sites for this platform, then obviously 200,000 footprints is just too much, and you're wasting resources if you use that. So bear in mind how big your CMS is when you're planning your footprint strategy, and then export this, and then you can import that into any scraper you choose.